State Manchester. I would like to turn it over to President Maduco for a few comments.
Thank you, Chair Gway. Good morning, Chair Gway. I'm not sure if Vice Chair James is online. Regents, Chancellor Chang, fellow presidents, and esteemed guests. Welcome to CT State Community College, Manchester. We are extremely honored for the opportunity to host the December BOR meeting here, as you can see, a very gorgeous and beautiful campus. At this time, can I have CEO Nicole Esposito and all the members of CT State Manchester please stand to be recognized? I want to make sure that we thank them for the hospitality and welcoming all of us. Getting a round of applause. Like many of our campuses, Manchester offers our students and surrounding communities a comprehensive experience in the arts and STEM, manufacturing, healthcare, and other areas tied to student development, student success. So again, we thank you for the opportunity to showcase one of our great campuses, and welcome.
Thank you, President Maduco. And I'd also like to thank you, Nicole, and your team here. And there's a lot of others that aren't in the room who have done a lot of work we should recognize also. And I'll let you pass on our regards from the board. It's my understanding that in the past we didn't really have meetings out and about in our system, but this is the reality of where we deliver education to our students. And I think it's important for us to always be mindful that these contexts really matter. So we learn a lot. We're here to learn, but we're also here to lead. I'd like to call for a motion to adopt the agenda. Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Before we do this, I think Pam needs to do roll call.
Thank you, Chair Gway. Chair Gway.
Present.
Regent Balducci. Regent Bloom. Student Regent Earlington. Regent James. Absence is noted. Regent Jappanen.
Present.
Is online with us. Regent Porth.
Present.
He is online with us as well. Regent Sanchez, Student Regent Sanchez. Regent Santiago.
Present.
Regent Santiago is noted. He is present. Regent Stewart. Absence is noted. Regent Wright.
Here.
Has noted she is present. Regent Yang.
Here.
And he has noted he is present as well. Student, our ex officios, Professor Cunningham.
Present.
Getting sound.
We're not getting sound. Hold on, please.
Is it on this or is that okay?
It's okay. That's what creates the reverb. I can't have either one of those on here.
You have your mic on.
Mm-mm.
Can you just ask anyone online if they can hear you?
Can anyone online hear me? Now
Yes,
you
we
can?
can hear you, but now it's echoing, but we could hear you.
Okay, hold on, please. I'll leave it up until we have a problem. Yeah, she's nodding her head.
Okay.
Okay.
The room heroes?
Our ex officio, Professor Cunningham.
Present.
Present.
Pam, there's an echo.
I don't think they can hear us.
Yeah, I don't think they can hear us either.
I can hear you now.
Ah, good.
Okay. Well, you're echoing for us now, Pam.
Turning it off. Professor Sanker.
I'm present.
She is noted she is present. Commissioner Bartolomeo. Absence is noted. Commissioner Giuntani. Absence is noted. Commissioner O'Keefe has delegated his attendance today to his Chief of Staff, David Stuber. Is he with us? Absence is noted. Commissioner Russell Tucker. Absence is noted. Chief Workforce Officer Valeries. Undersecretary Casamento. And our presidents, President Maduco, Interim President Smith, President Toro, Interim President Singh, President Klonowski,
Present.
President Ismaili,
Present.
and Chair Gway, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Can I confirm that those virtually online, the regents can hear me?
We can.
I can hear you.
I can
hear you.
So we need to wait till they're,
It's good. It's good now, Marty, and the echo's off.
can anyone raise their hand who's online?
They are muted, so as soon as
Okay, okay, good. Thanks for shaking your heads. I'd like to call for a motion to adopt the agenda. Is there a second? All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries and the agenda is adopted. I'll now turn the meeting to Chancellor Cheng for his remarks.
Thank you, Chair Gway. First, again, thank you to CEO Esposito and her whole Manchester team. This is a wonderful campus. I was telling Regent Balducci, this is the first time I've come to the campus of the several visits and I haven't gotten lost because I usually park in the wrong lot and I have to walk through the entire campus. I can use the exercise, but I was actually happy to find the lot and get in here in a proper way. But it's a great campus. Thank you so much for hosting us today. It's the end of the calendar year and there's lots going on, lots to talk about. So I will just tell you in advance that my remarks today are a tad on the lengthier side, but I think it's important to make sure we get several things out there. Yesterday, the Office of the State Comptroller released its findings of its audit of the CSCU system. I want to thank the Comptroller's Office for their thorough review of CSCU's policies, P-card and travel records, and for their recommendations to apply tighter controls and improve processes across the entire system. We're reviewing the recommendations and findings from the Comptroller's Office, and we are committed to implementing stronger controls, policies, and comprehensive training. These recommendations will support our collective goals of accountability and transparency across the system and protect taxpayer dollars and student funds. The system has begun to take steps in this direction, and over the next 100 days, I've instructed my team to implement recommendations to improve compliance and reporting. So I look forward to working closely with the Board of Regents to not only implement these policies, but to put them into action. And I want to take a point of personal privilege and make a comment. I want to recognize publicly that the Comptroller's work was spurred by my own actions. And even though they were taken on behalf of the system, I recognize that my intent did not match the impact and the perception. And that falls on me. That is my responsibility, and I will be held accountable for it. It is clear that my judgment in several instances was lacking, and I'm going to do better. I feel terribly that my actions have distracted from the great work that our faculty and staff are doing to support our students. That, to me, is one of the things I feel worst about. So I will tell you that I have learned from these mistakes. I will not make these mistakes again. And I pledge to do better personally and to help the system continue to get better in any way that we can. And I will work with each of our presidents and all of our leadership across the system to help model and unify ever higher standards. So as we redefine the system office to focus on processes, procedure, protocol, policy, compliance, and accountability, the work resulting from the Comptroller's report will be the top of our list. Moving on to the next item, last week, we announced a new endeavor between Western Connecticut State University, Central Connecticut State University, and the system office. As this announcement was a surprise to many, President Toro and I attended a very honest and passionate meeting with many members of Western's community and beyond to hear their concerns. It is clear that our communication did not provide enough detail. So let me state things more clearly. The problem we are trying to solve for is the fact that Western Connecticut State University has a $12 million a year structural deficit. That means that every year in its current situation of enrollment, services, operations, and revenue, Western loses $12 million. This has been the case for many years, and I think we would all agree that this is not sustainable. Something must be done. This is certainly the message we have received loud and clear from our state leaders who determine our appropriation. We did not get to this place overnight. From 2015 to 2021, as enrollment was dropping across our system, Western's reserves went from approximately $25 million to nearly full depletion by the time I arrived. So in my first year as chancellor, I made the decision to change leadership and appoint an interim president. That individual was not able to serve the full term we agreed to. So I asked Dr. Singh to step in, and I'm very grateful that he chose to accept that. Dr. Singh has done a really good job in a difficult situation. Admirable progress has been made, and I commend the faculty and staff at Western, their administrative leaders, for continuing to forge a path through hard times. I understand and feel your pride. I've always been a campus person until this role. I know what it feels like. I know how deeply passionate and heartfelt it is, our work on a campus, seeing our students, working with our colleagues. I understand that pride, and I respect and we respect the work that the Western community puts in to serve your students. The reality, though, is that even with this work, more must be done. The institution deserves stability and predictability, and the search for Western's next permanent president has begun. President Toro of Central is chairing this search. Between the announced partnership and the search, some folks around our system have described this as a, quote, takeover of Western. I am sorry that this is the impression, but let me be very clear. This is not a takeover. Central's leaders are not making decisions for Western. The Chancellor's office is not making decisions for Western. We are working together to support and bolster Western. We are working together in this way because we care for Western and we want to see Western succeed. I view the search and this advisor partnership separately. I asked President Toro to chair the search because she is the most senior of the permanent CSU presidents. Under her leadership, Central has become an impressive, high-performing, well-ranked institution with excellent practices and operations. And this is the reason I asked Central to partner with Western. I heard the concerns around conflict of interest. I see it more as a synergy of understanding that will help both processes. All that said, in either process, I'm open to changing our path forward if need be, as long as we are unified in solving for the same problems, addressing the $12 million structural deficit while evolving and transforming Western in a way that will make Western's academics, operations, impact, and value sustainable and viable for the long term. Central's team has already begun working with Western's team in a listening and learning phase. Many questions are being asked, ideas are being traded. In a few months, Central will produce a report of recommendations that will be given to me and the Western leadership team. From there, discussions will take place as to what may be implemented from the report and when. This is why we said the work would take up to 3 years. I believe we are lucky to have such capacity across the system to work in support of a single institution. Western's reserves, which currently stand at $11 million, have been buttressed through $10 million in support received from the system office over the last 2 years. Institutions of Western size, public and private, have had to close because of smaller deficits with no additional support. So I think we are fortunate to have system resources to help Western in this moment, because Western must and will stand on its own. The faculty and staff are too good. The students they serve are too good. The community and the region they serve are too valuable to Connecticut. Central's work with Western will help them achieve the goals of more predictable and stable operations, efficiency, and academic excellence and value for the long term. Western deserves this kind of support, which it has not received in the past. I also met recently with bargaining unit leaders to discuss the development of the ACT or ACT framework and the upcoming legislative session. Again, it was an honest and spirited discussion, and I appreciate the value and candor of our labor partners and leaders. And I'll just tell you that the last several months, I've been meeting regularly with institutional senates, with student leader groups, with our labor union leaders. These are really important meetings, and I have found them incredibly valuable because folks get a chance to say certain things directly to me, and I get to answer them so that there is no ambiguity in some of the responses and the understandings. And at the same time, I get to deliver the message that I think is important for people to hear directly from me. So I really cherish the time that folks have given to these meetings, and this was exactly one of them. It was really helpful to hear people's concerns and questions and their ideas, which are going to help us move forward to coordinate better the development of ACT at each institution across our system. The goal for the ACT framework, which has been a question, so I want to make sure I state this clearly. The goal for ACT is to unite CSU's efforts to expand access, enhance educational experiences, and align learning with real-world needs, supporting CSU's mission to provide high-quality, innovative, rigorous, and affordable academic programs that empower students to achieve their goals and make them ever stronger in their careers and communities. ACT will help us communicate and advocate as we work hard to secure more resources and support for our system. As the institutions and campuses work on key performance indicators through their shared governance structures, we believe the final ACT framework will transform challenges into opportunities, unite stakeholders under a shared vision, and help to ensure that CSU remains a leader in education and social mobility. We also talked about legislative session. It's right around the corner. We reviewed the details of the system's budget proposal for the biennium and thus discussed how we could coordinate and work better together, where we have differences, which we do, and where we can unify. We come to this work from different perspectives, but I continue to appreciate and admire the hard work and diligence of our labor leaders and partners, and continue to believe firmly that we are united in the goal of trying to secure more resources for our students and our system. So, on to some more positive news. I promise I'm almost done. I'm really excited to share that we have reappointed Dr. John Maduco as president of Connecticut State Community College. That's right. Dr. Maduco began his tenure as CT State's leader in June of 22, following the merger of the 12 community colleges into one institution. Under Dr. Maduco's leadership, CT State has seen a 4% increase in enrollment in the fall 2024 semester, marking the first year-over-year growth since fall of 2012. This includes consistent enrollment gains among Hispanic, Black, and adult students, reflecting the college's commitment to inclusivity and access to higher education. CT State, under Dr. Maduco's leadership, has increased participation in Connecticut's free tuition initiative, which now serves more than 59% of CT State students, assuring affordability and access. President Maduco and his team have solidified CT State's position as the leading producer of professionals in advanced manufacturing, healthcare, IT, and continue to work diligently to meet the state's evolving economic and workforce demands. And they've developed a comprehensive college-wide equity and civil rights framework, advancing CT State's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. President Maduko has put access, excellence, and inclusion at the forefront of every decision and initiative. I've been around him a lot, and he is nothing but consistent in working through this lens. Because of his efforts, new doors have opened for so many students. He's built the foundation for CT State's success, and I look forward to continuing to partner with him on identifying ways to increase enrollment, connect students to new opportunities, and further enhance program offerings. President Maduko, my friend, my partner, congratulations. Proud of you. Finally, yes, there is a finally. Today, before the Board of Regents is a proposal to freeze tuition for the 2025-26 academic year. Our students face so many challenges. Some juggle school while working full or part-time, or while caring for loved ones and family. It's critical that we do everything we can to decrease the financial burden that they face. Freezing tuition rates for our students is part of our shared North Star for ensuring our colleges and universities remain accessible and affordable for all. Keeping tuition flat will help ensure our students learn here, stay here, and earn their degree here. So I urge the board members to approve this proposal that will lift up our students and further support them in their post-secondary education. The last thing I'll say is I want to thank our Board of Regents because they do an incredible amount of work for this system. They do not get paid for this work. They put in tons and tons of hours, and they care deeply about this system, these institutions, our faculty, our staff, our students. So I'd like to give a round of applause for our board members, please, because they do such a great job for us. And last, to our system team, our institutional leaders, and of course, our faculty and staff. Our system team and institutional leaders, you do incredible work. You are so diligent, so committed, so focused, indefatigable. I'm so proud to call you my colleagues and to stand with you side by side. But ultimately, the faculty and the staff, they are the heart and soul of our institutions. They serve our students, they enroll our students, they teach them, they support them, they answer the emails and the text messages and Snapchat and whatever else that they're accessible through. Our folks are there to help them. And I can't thank you enough as faculty and staff for doing what you do every single day. It's the most noble work, and I'm so proud that you all are out there helping our students. That is the conclusion of my remarks, Chair Gway. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Cheng. A few comments from me. Yesterday, the Office of the State Comptroller, Sean Scanlon, released its report to the governor on the Connecticut State College and University Special Examination. The report was direct and blunt. We have a problem that we will address. In our financial activities, particularly related around P-card usage, state-owned vehicles, we have a lack of documentation, university policy following, lack of policies, and some poor judgment in times when having the ability to spend doesn't provide the reason for the need to spend. Several recommendations have been put forth by the Office of the State Comptroller. I'm thankful for the hard work that Comptroller Sean Scanlon and his team at OSC have done in this effort. We're grateful for the full transparency on both sides, but also the path for improvement to the standards that public taxpayers deserve. We are the stewards of taxpayers and of public trust. It is imperative that we do better, and we will do better. The public expects it, deserves it, and will get it. While there's no legal wrongdoing in this report, I know you will agree that our standards are much higher. You have my personal and professional assurance that we will clean this up. With my rights as chair, I'm setting up a financial accountability task force that will lead this oversight effort, led by Audit Chair Elise Wright. We'll get routine reports on the program review and recommendations and assessment and implementation. I will be asking other regions and system leaders to be part of this task force. I will announce this group at our next meeting, but I will start working with Elise immediately. This team will also meet with outside auditors who review our results annually. And we do get outside auditors that look at our results. So we need to get a better understanding of what they're seeing, what they're not seeing, and how we can do better. All of this will be aligned with OSC, and we will move with speed. 4 months ago, in my first meeting as Board of Regents chair, I spoke of my priorities of building a better and stronger culture, shared governance, and student success. We have made some progress in many areas. Our transfer policy throughout the system will yield great benefits for student success for a long time to come. Second, restoration of student services. And after a long shared and thoughtful shared governance collaboration, demonstrates our commitment to students and their needs. We have also looked forward and sought areas of opportunity to improve. Our task forces on healthcare and Charter Oak will bear fruit for our students, faculty, and external stakeholders. In shared governance, I welcome the opportunity to meet and to work with our faculty. We can do a better job collaborating mutually. Board Secretary Pam Helene will schedule these meetings in 2025 for us, and I take meetings that I'm asked to take. I've appreciated the opportunity to work with Senate presidents, and I'm grateful for their service, experience, and inputs. I look forward to continuing these meetings in 2025. I also want to thank the board for their service. Thank you. We have a re-energized student. Before I get to that, I would like to congratulate you, President Maduka. We have high expectations, and we know you're going to bring us into that future as you've successfully navigated us to this point. So thank you. We're going to re-energize our Student Advisory Committee and the important work they are going to be doing to ensure that their student voices are heard. We have two excellent leaders here who I have a lot of confidence in. Cheyenne, I haven't worked as long with you, but we've been together a few times. Luis, I have worked a while with you, and I appreciate what you're doing. But I'm going to turn it over to you to present what you're working on for the benefit of other students in our entire system. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll get started with a presentation. We're just gonna pull it up onto the screen. It's just gonna take a couple seconds and we should be going. We want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to deliver this presentation. We're gonna go a little bit over kind of what we have planned out and laid out for the remaining of the year, as well as you can get to know us a little better. So we'll get started. So I'll start. My name is Luis Sanchez. There it is. My name is Luis Sanchez. I'm a student, Central Connecticut State University. Currently, I'm a senior. This year, I'm serving as the chair of the Student Advisory Committee and majoring in Management Informational Systems with a minor in Applications of Artificial Intelligence.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cheyenne Erlington. I attend CT State Isnuntuk. I'm majoring in Business Administration. I graduate this upcoming May. I am the president of SGA, and I'm so happy to be here. So thank you, guys. So Here are some of our SAC standards that we conduct our meetings by, and we have an acronym, RESPECT. So R stands for recognizing and having student responsibility. E for empathy. I think it's lagging. There we go. I'll start all over. So we have some SAC standards that we conduct our student meetings by, and our acronym is RESPECT. So R stands for recognizing as well as responsibility. E being empathetic, displaying equity and, being curious through exploration. S being sensitive, speaking one at a time, one voice, one mic. P is for perspective, as well as having patience with one another in trying times. Also, again, E is for student engagement, and escuchar, which means listen in Spanish. C for collaboration, and then T, trust and time.
Here we have an image of our whole membership. As many of you know, the way our SAC membership consists of is a representative of each of the community colleges across the state, as well as the 4 state universities. If you guys would like this list of the emails, primary representatives of each institution, feel free to reach out after the meeting, and I'm able to release this information to you guys as well.
So there's a delay on my computer, so please forgive us. I'm just waiting for it to load so everyone can see. But I will start talking. So our next slide reads, what's on the horizon for SAC? And first, we're going to support our legislative session. We're going to conduct a system-wide student survey. There's potential for having a student leadership conference in fall of 2025. We are definitely going to update our bylaws. Luis and I are going to engage in SGA campus visits system-wide, as well as we're going to host virtual community connections being held once a month. It's going to be a safe space and a brave space established for students to pop in, drop in, and talk to us about, what's going on, not only with themselves, but what they see on their campus.
Perfect. With that, we'll get started with supporting the legislative session. We met at our last student advisory committee meeting. We met with the legislative team from system office. They did a great job answering all student questions that they had about the legislative session that's coming up, the coming up year. We believe that as a student advisory committee, we want to advocate for more funding that not only meets but exceeds the minimum that our system needs. I know for the last couple of years, that's kind of has been the message of requesting for more funding, but we feel that if we work along with all the stakeholders across the state, we feel that we can advocate for not just requesting the bare minimum to keep our system funding and maintaining its current state, but potentially be able to build and grow. So that's kind of our goal. We want to make sure that the student voices are heard across the aisle and make sure that we put emphasis on those student voices. As many of you know, our system is very diverse and we have many student voices. So we feel the need that as a student advisory committee, we have to push that message out so more people know about the different students that our system serves. Student survey. We feel very strongly about this. I think it's very much needed. A student survey, the whole mission of the student survey is to identify the key areas that are impacting student success. We hear a lot about student success, but we want to make sure that we narrow down those key areas that are truly affecting our students across the system. We want to work with the institutional research office to make sure that we get a comprehensive and reliable survey. We want to make sure that we gather the most accurate data across the system to make sure that, first of all, we're surveying kind of what the students need to continue to grow within the system, as well as once we gather that data, we'll work with the institutional research office to make sure that the suggestions that come from that survey are met and delivered to the board. in order to make sure that this effort is successful, we feel that an incentive would drive more participation and more accurate responses. So we would like to request from the board funding for a survey incentive to students. This can be delivered in many different modalities. It could be gift cards, it could be scholarships, it could be gas money, things that students would need. So we were thinking a range of $2,000 to $3,000 across the system will be delivered to people that fill out the survey. That way we can gather more accurate data and incentivize the students to fill out the survey.
So updating our bylaws. So Luis and I did our due diligence, and the last time our bylaws were updated, it was in 2013, and we're currently in 2024, ongoing to 2025. So Luis and I, as well as the student committee, will be working hard this upcoming semester, and it will be done by the semester. And also, so CT, another example for the bylaws, CT State is still listed as CT Technical College, and we're not reflected as a single system yet, and this impacts our quorum for student meetings. So we are also exploring offering a system-wide student leadership conference. Collaborations with student activity directors will convene in spring of 2025, and we're looking forward to this. So.
So we set out, one of our objectives this year was visiting all the SGAs across the system, as well as creating some type of virtual connection with the students across the system where they can come in, voice their opinions, voice what the issues that they're going through. That way we can better advocate at the BOR regions level. So Cheyenne and I split almost like the system in half to make sure that we both are able to gather all the information across the system. This coming up spring semester, I will be visiting Asnontuck, Eastern Connecticut State University, Gateway, Middlesex, Naugatuck, Charter Oak, Northwestern, Three Rivers, and Tonks's.
And I will be visiting Capital, Central, Manchester, Housatonic, Western, Southern, Norwalk, and Quinebaug.
We want to make sure that, and as well, in addition, we'll be hosting the virtual community connection sessions. It will be a monthly thing, so students are able to come in on a monthly basis, talk to us for a period of time, and we want to make sure that this gets launched by this spring.
Thank you all so much. We appreciate you, and we welcome any questions.
Thank you.
Take it down.
I would like to thank you for a very thoughtful and well-presented presentation. That was very good, and I would hope you could send me your list of SGA representatives. I'd like to send a note to them to thank you for their service to help us become better. I'd also like you to put together for us a budget of what you want for next year. You spoke about the need to an activities budget, and then you also had an ask around a survey, an incentive around a survey. So what would that would look like? How would you deploy it? How would we manage it?
Yeah. So
go ahead.
With the survey, as we know, students get bombarded with surveys all throughout school, whether it's like the institution themselves or many different entities trying to gather data as well. So we believe that an incentive will be highly motivational for a student. This could be done in a scholarship kind of form. The student logs in, signs the information, and they enter a chance to potentially win a scholarship. And that way, we're not utilizing that much money, but we're creating that incentive so that way students feel more motivated to fill in with the right information. That way we can gather data. We're thinking $2,000 to $3,000. That could be divided.
For the whole system.
We believe for this survey, yeah.
A scholarship sounds expensive. A gift card doesn't. But I think there's rules around this, and I know our general counsel will guide us in this, but let's work on it.
Yeah.
And let's do something so you get full impact. And I'd also offer you my attendance at one of your visits at one of the campuses in 2025 to go to one with each of you and
That'd be
can
great.
sit in and help you help others, right?
Awesome.
Thank you.
We appreciate your leadership.
Thank you. And we'll get the budget to you.
Yeah, at your convenience when you're ready.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to recognize Professor Cunningham, who has his hand up.
Thank you, Chair Gway. I'd like to thank our student regents for the
Thomas, on
service
delay.
plan they've laid out. It's really impressive to see our student regents.
Professor Cunningham, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Can you hear me? Hello?
We can't hear you. Hold on. Keep speaking and we'll let you know when we can hear you.
I could sing a holiday tune. I
That's a fantastic idea. We're gonna have a sing along while we're waiting.
maybe row your boat, or we could do a round. Does everybody remember the rounds from elementary school? I don't know if they still do those.
There we go. No, that
We'll
would
come
be-
back to you, Professor Cunningham. We'll come back to you.
Okay.
This is not designed to cancel you, trust me.
Give them a thumbs up. They can't hear you.
Yep. So Ted, we're gonna have a problem too
I'll
with
take
you.
the
Hold on.
alto line.
There we go. Let's do this. This is awesome.
So we can hear one another, but they can't hear us?
No, they can't hear us.
Just be careful because the YouTube probably can hear us.
Right, exactly.
That's right.
Mr. Cunningham?
Since the
Can you-
YouTube can hear us, Professor Cunningham, maybe you do want to sing. You know, break
I think
out
this is
break
the
out into
time.
your
That's
new
right, man.
musical
Nope.
career. This is your
Okay,
opportunity
I
to
think
break
we
out.
can hear each other.
Gotta give the people what they want. Oh.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
You only can hear everyone else can.
No, they
Can
can't.
can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to test me off of mic here in the room.
The problem,
with you.
Pam, hey Pam, before you do that, just be careful because now we're back to the thing where I can see that your audio is coming through on your login as well as the Brian login. I don't know who that is. And last time you did this, we were getting a major echo. So go for it, but just be aware.
Okay, I just muted Brian, so let's see if we get the feed going. Okay, let's try this so that we can hear Professor Cunningham as well as Regent Yang. But we might have a problem. Hold on, please. Brian, can you unmute? And that way I hope that it will feed to YouTube. I need you to unmute. Ari, can you let me know if we have an echo?
I can. Brian's still muted, but we'll let you know. Can you still hear us?
Yes.
Brian's still muted. I don't know if that's impacting
he's
the
working on
YouTube
it.
stream.
Okay, we do have a confirmation that we can hear audio on our live stream. So Professor Cunningham, why don't you go ahead? Doesn't appear to be causing an echo.
Okay, I just wanted to express my gratitude for our student regents engaged in this service and investing in our communities. It's a big deal. The other thing I wanted to remark is that the rules regarding human subject research on our campuses are fairly well established. And please reach out to the institutional review boards,
I can't hear you.
either at CT State or one of our CSU campuses, to make sure you're following the ethical guidelines we have established for conducting research on our students. Thank you.
Nobody can hear him.
Hold on a second, Professor Cunningham. It appears that we could hear you on the live stream, but not here in the room. We're working to see if we can do that again. Hold on.
Need to make a decision on this.
And Ted. And comments.
Can we just type it up and read it?
Do you have a fix? What's your thought?
Hey, Marty, the echo's back.
Hold on, we'll give this another minute.
Should just type out the question.
I can read
Pam,
it.
Pam, we can hear you a little bit. Just watch out.
I wish I could
Up to you again.
Professor Cunningham's comment was to please consult with institutional review boards on our campuses if we plan to conduct research with our students. And for the record, it appears that we don't have an audio output for our WebEx participants to live stream into this room. So we've got an either or kind of situation here. So please hold on.
Okay. So we need to go through that as well. All right, perfect.
That's the get through her to get this.
For the room, we're going to just try to makeshift something here. Hold on, please.
So we're gonna be on just like once we release this, so they can send them both.
Regent Santiago, can you say something into the mic to see if we're picking it up in the room, please?
Something into the mic.
Nothing.
Make some comments.
Oh, it's going to be here.
I think, especially coming from students. I don't see an issue. It's like a should think take like such.
Regent, Professor Cunningham, but we won't be able to hear Ted's report.
Well, we're gonna have to pass on the external reports and submit them into the public record. We don't have the capacity to hear you in the room. So we're gonna have to move to the agenda that's in the room. I apologize, but there's a technical encumbrance here. Well, hold on. No, it's not the phone. It's either video or the phone.
I just read Professor Cunningham's comment into the record.
All right, let's move on to public comment.
We're not going to be able to hear them either.
We have a help here.
Thank you.
She's not in public comment.
Okay.
And then let me bring them back to the room. And have them submit in writing. Is that what we want to do?
Yep. We need part of the record.
And for the record, just to bring Jeff Schlicht up to speed and John O'Connor up to speed, we're having an audio problem feeding from WebEx into the room here. So we're not going to be able to hear your public comment with the rest of the regents here in the room here at Manchester. So with your, we would like to ask that you submit your public comment in writing for the record. Hold on, please.
decision.
Okay.
Because it's not working. I think to be fair, I think to be fair, we can bring the public comment to the next meeting. And we'd welcome to do that, but we can't hear you inside the room, and we're gonna have to proceed with the business of the room. So I'm gonna make a decision to table it and to put your public comment in the public record. And give you the opportunity in the next meeting to speak again. Okay. Submit it to Pam and we will follow up. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. I'd like to call for a motion to approve the minutes of the October 24th regular board meeting. Is there a second? Any corrections? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. The October 24th meetings are approved. Next, I'd like to call for a motion to approve the minutes of the November 21st special board meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any changes? Corrections? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Abstentions? The motion carries. The November 21st minutes are approved. Next, we'll approve the consent agenda. I'd like to call for a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? The consent agenda is approved. I'd like to now move to Committee Chair Ira Bloom, and we'd welcome your report as well as an action item from the Academic and Student Affairs Committee.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Academic and Student Affairs Committee met on December 6th. Present, in addition to the ASA Committee Chair, were Regents Juanita James and Rick Porth and Professor Colina Sasenker. We thank the board for its approval of the consent agenda. The first hour of the ASA meeting was held jointly with the HR and Administration Committee, chaired by Regent Sophia Japanen, in order to receive the presentation by the CSCU Title IX coordinator of the annual sexual misconduct report. The presentation is available on YouTube for those who want to hear the presentation. Chair Gay, the ASA committee has one further recommended item for consideration and vote. Western Connecticut State University is putting forth a new program, a Bachelor of Science program in Atmospheric and Climate Sciences. The new program is concurrent with the discontinuation of the BS in Meteorology, and it will fulfill the increasing need to address the impact of climate change, particularly here in Connecticut with its extended and vulnerable coastline. The program proposal combines theoretical courses, hands-on laboratory experience, and field research to provide a comprehensive education in the fundamental principles of meteorology, climate systems, and environmental sciences that explore the dynamic process that governs Earth's atmosphere and climate. Western's Meteorological Studies and Weather Center is a major asset supporting this program. As I think we all know, as climate studies become more central to the economy and particularly to the economy of Connecticut, the program will offer students the opportunity to apply cutting-edge technical advances such as artificial intelligence, data analysis, and climate and environmental modeling to this rapidly evolving field. Interestingly, there was an article last week on December 10th in the New York Times regarding the new approaches to atmospheric and meteorological sciences that rely heavily on AI and related technologies. And AI is probably a very good fit for the kind of work that's involved here. Western's BS in Atmospheric and Climate Sciences will also offer an accelerated track for the MS in Meteorology, which meets National Weather Service employment requirements. Completion of the MS will enable students to secure positions with the National Weather Service. Initiatives in Connecticut and elsewhere now include climate studies in the K through 12 curriculum of primary and secondary public schools, which will fuel the interest in this relevant and important environmental topic. The program draws on the expertise of Western faculty across disciplines, including physics, meteorology, mathematics, chemistry, and computer science. It will collaboratively work with students toward understanding and addressing the most pressing environmental issues of our time. The program proposal is consistent with Western's deficit mitigation plan. If there are questions or comments, happy to entertain them. If not, Mr. Chairman, I would move that motion to approve this item.
Second.
All in favor, and anyone online can raise their hands to the motion to approve the new program.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? The motion is approved. Thank you.
And thank you, Chair Gay. That concludes the ASA committee report.
Thank you. Our audit committee chair is online, Elise Wright, and Elise has delegated her update on this month to CFO Blanchard on why our audit is delayed this year. So CFO Blanchard, could you give us an audit committee update?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I requested from Chair Wright for a delay in the audit report. Normally, we would provide the audit report to the board in the December meeting, this meeting, but we had a few issues that led me to seek a delay. The reason for the delay was in FY24, which is the year that we're auditing, it was the first year of the fringe policy change. If you recall, we talked a lot about that. Many questions emerged about how to account for fringe costs under the GASB rules. GASB is the Government Accounting Standard Board, which governs accounting for public entities in the United States. These questions were difficult to handle. We had many meetings among controllers across our system. Our system controller left in September. So that made it difficult for us to have leadership on some of these technical matters. So it fell to me to make the call on some of these technical accounting rules. I consulted GASB, the Office of State Controller, our friends in the Yukon Accounting Department, as well as our auditors at Grant Thornton. Grant Thornton thought it was a tricky matter, so they went to their national partners to try to resolve or try to get some guidance on how they should handle this new fringe accounting situation. Time passed while they considered this, and I was under pressure to make a call because my team, the accountants throughout our system, wanted to get their work done. So I made a call that was later contradicted by the auditors. And so that required us to reverse a number of many fringe postings of fringe costs to our books that were not required because of the policy change. It was this reversal of those fringe postings that led to the delay. And that's why I asked Regent Wright for accommodations. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, CFO Blanchard, for that update. Finance Committee Chair Rich Balducci, I believe you have an action item for consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, we do. We have one action item before us, a resolution dealing with the Connecticut State Colleges and Universities 2026 tuition and fee increase. First of all, probably glad to say, and the Chancellor already commented, that there is no increase in tuition. We are going to ask for permission to, which is absolutely needed, to raise two fees. One is the food cost fee at the universities. I actually have the numbers that they go up. They're contractual. We really have no control over them, but they must be approved by the board so that the universities can move ahead
with the contractual agreement to raise the food fees for students at their universities. The second fee is a credit card fee, which is presently done by the universities. And what we're looking to do is approve the same kind of a fee for the Connecticut State Community College, which costs them, if we don't do this, about $800,000, correct, John? About $800,000 a year. This would allow them to tack on that fee for students using credit cards. With that, Mr. Chairman, I would make the motion that we adopt the resolution to increase those two fees with no tuition increase.
Thank you for the motion to approve the fiscal year 26 tuition and fee schedule as proposed. Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? The resolution is approved as proposed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes my report. Wishing everybody a happy holiday season as we go forward.
Thank you for your spirited wishes. I appreciate that. There is no report from Governance and Nominations
Mr.
Committee.
Chair, may I make a quick comment, point of privilege?
Sure.
So I just want to, again, thank this board for approving this tuition freeze. It is enormous. I especially want to give Regent Balducci the attention that he deserves, because he, if folks remember, was really, adamant that we have to do something to alleviate as much financial burden as possible on our students. And Regent Balducci does a great deal of work behind the scenes with his wisdom and his acumen to move things forward. So again, thank you, Regent Balducci, and thank you to all of our regents for making this really progressive step forward to help our students.
Thank you, Chancellor. There is no report from the Governance and Nominations Committee. Committee Chair Jappanen, there's no report from Human Resources and Administration, correct? Thank you. Regent Yang will submit his Technology Committee report to the record. And he's also submitting and posting his earlier Task Force Committee online. So you'll be able to see that. And that report is actually very worthwhile reading. It's really well done, very professional and comprehensive. So I'm excited about the potentiality and the opportunities that we have as a system. There will be no executive session today. But before I call an adjournment to this meeting, I would like to thank again Nicole and her team for hosting us. It's a real privilege to be in place and look forward to following up with you in 2025. I'd also like to thank in advance a lunch hosted by the Manchester Community College Foundation. And we appreciate you and your leadership. And as we close out the meeting in the year, I'd like to thank everyone in the system office, the faculty, the students, the chancellor, the board. But I'd specifically like to call out the Senate presidents who over the last several months I've had a chance to get to learn, to get to know and to learn, and who've provided me great advice and counsel, and who have also been a good ear to listen to some of the things that were on my mind. So I appreciate them. So to all of our leaders, our six institutional leaders, we ride you into success. So we appreciate what you're going to do. Get some rest and relaxation over this holiday. And with that, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting? Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The meeting is adjourned. Anyone online who needs to follow up with me, I'm available through tomorrow night. And then after the 1st. Thank you so much. The meeting is adjourned. The live streaming is being stopped.
Happy holidays, online people.
Bye all.
Same. Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
everybody.
Likewise. Take care, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice holiday. Bye-bye.